And for more analysis, we are joined from Jenin by Mr. Samir Abahra, the political analyst. Welcome, Mr. Abahra. Israeli airstrikes killed dozens of people overnight, including children in the school-turned-shelter. These attacks reflect the pattern of Israel's ongoing strategy to target displaced civilians.
Good evening to you and your audiences. Yes, Israel has already ramped up its genocidal war against the Palestinian people in the West Bank. And the Israeli mercenaries do not differentiate between senior people, children, or women. All the segmentation of the people in Palestine affected by the military Israeli strategy that led the Democratic Party's chief to criticize Netanyahu and the Israeli army by killing children, and also led in a very outrageous reaction militarily by attacking Yehud Kelan or the Likud members that will affect the Israeli state and to be subjected to be accountable under the international law. This had happened previously. So why the history did not held Israel accountable for that and should be before the international community, and even the US has already stated by strong languages to end the war and indicated that with this threat the Israeli position, and also would lead to the ties deterioration between America and Israel. What's happening in Gaza that lead the mobilization in the level of Europe, such as France, Canada, and UK, and a call upon to several or other European countries to join, threatening to suspend the partnership with Israel if the genocidal war to continue, and requested to Israel to implement and abide the international humanitarian law. And Israel is also taken standards of the international humanitarian law to use as weapon against Israel. So this
Mr. Abahra, criticism against Israel's conduct in Gaza came also from inside of the country, with Yair Golan, a leader of Israel's center-left politics, saying that Israel was becoming an outcast among nations and killing babies as a hobby because of the government's approach to the war. How significant are such internal critiques, and could they shift public opinion or policy?
Yes, it is a breakthrough that is coming within the Israeli politicians, such as the chief of Democrats, and it has a political position here that would lead to the shift of the international communities. This also might lead to increase the demobilization and the pressure again upon Israel by the international community, as well as the peoples of these countries. A public political pressure should take place even by the human rights and the legal organization to pressure Israel. Should this also be presented within Europe. We've seen in Netherlands around 100,000 people of Netherlands took to the street condemning in Israel. This also might go forward in other countries. Yes, this might lead such a shocking statement to pressure Netanyahu and to sit back of his policies and to stop the war of genocide against the Palestinian people.
Well, Netanyahu admitted that, pardon, aid was has resumed to prevent negative media coverage and to avoid the diplomatic backlash over the images of mass starvation. How does this cynical statement reflect Israel's use of famine and starvation as weapons of war?
Based on my estimation, that starvation and even famine is weapons of war. Israel has already arranged the distributions of aid as they have in militarily motivations, and even though that they are not enough for the people, and the people would have to wait for long queues waiting for the distribution. In the meantime, there is a full shortage, or rather the complete bombardment on the Gaza from the land and the air, and they also might harm the trucks of aid. And Israel is doing so the fear of falling these aid in the hands of Gaza.
Sir, Netanyahu declared that Israel will take full control of Gaza. What does this reveal about the real objectives of this war, and how do you interpret this in the context of forced displacement and occupation?
Netanyahu has only one goal through his own campaign, calling Israel to release the captives and the elimination of Hamas and handed over their arm. And I think the matter is completely political, that is even related to the future of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Netanyahu is endeavoring to undermine the Palestinian cause as long with the two-state solutions. I wish to speak frankly. Netanyahu's country do not wish the full release of the Israeli captives. The process, as he claimed, that his own goal, even if the captives were released and Netanyahu continue in his campaign, the international community will demand him as his goal has been achieved to end the war. But this even Netanyahu did not want, but wanted to resume his own war on the Gaza Strip. Forcibly displacement for the Palestinians, along with killing them. This is his own goal in order to eliminate the proposal of the two-state solution. This is his own strategic goal, along with Israel, not to release the captives. The captives will ultimately be relieved under the agreement to be implemented, but Netanyahu then will be ending will be achieving his ultimate goal to eliminate and liquidate the Palestinian cause.
Well, sir, despite the growing international condemnation, Israel continues its war, lets humanitarian aid in upon its own decision. Do you see this as a failure of global institutions?
Certainly, as you've already mentioned, that Israel's only searching for political and security goals, not to solve the issues of the Gaza Strip by entering the aid. The aids were blockaded throughout 2 months that led the children to die because of hunger. Israel also started to resume the aid under the security motivations, and even though such aids are very limited, won't solve the problem of the children affected by shortage of food and the risks of famine. It's only by the international community pressure to enter such aids.
Mhm.